guys, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you are starting another weekly vlog with me. So excited to be doing another one. Last week I did film maybe like Monday through Wednesday-ish, and then I kind of fell off because it wasn't a bad reading week. I just wasn't reading as much. I kind of got busy, and so I have clips, I just didn't post them. So I have a lot to update on today. So let's start with what I actually read last week. And I'm trying to remember where I left off with you guys. I know, let me pull it up. I think the last thing you guys saw was me reading Drowning on Saturday of the week before last. Let me just pull this up. Okay, so I read Drowning. It was a library book. It's a thriller. Really good. I ended up giving it 4 stars, I want to say. It is a little dramatic. Obviously, there's people drowning. I gave it 3.5 stars. I said very compelling and a definite page turner. Since I don't like flying, there's parts that were eerie for me, but it was pretty good. Trigger warning, sad ending, death, suicide, and drowning. Then I read The Dragonette Prophecy, which is Wings of Fire graphic novel number 1. Reagan loves the Wings of Fire, and she had asked that I read them so that I could get into it as well. So I did finish book 1. Haven't gotten to book 2 yet, but I will. And then I was reading Up a Storm by Eva Gates. It's a cozy mystery, Lighthouse Library, mystery number 3. I like those mysteries because the whole idea of a library within a lighthouse is so cute to me. And I ended up giving that 4 stars. And then okay, so now let's get more current. So then last week, the book that I had been waiting for came out, The Name Drop by Susan Lee. Look at this cover. It is so cute. So I read her first book called Soulmates, which is really good. Here's the cover for that. These covers are everything. And so when this was going to come out, I decided that I would pre-order it, and I did. And I got it on Tuesday. No, I got it on Wednesday, but it came out on Tuesday. And Amazon said I would get it on Tuesday, and I didn't. I got it on Wednesday, but that's fine. And so this book was really cute. It follows, what are their names? Elijah and Jessica. They're both Korean. Jessica's Korean American, and Elijah is from Korea. And they share the same sort of Korean name in a way. The name formatting is a little bit different, but the way it sounds the same. And so they're both on their way to New York for internships. Well, Jessica's going to an internship for a company that her dad works for. Her dad hates the company, but he knows it'll be a good thing for her. And then Elijah is the son of the CEO of the company, and he's going to learn how to be the CEO. Well, since they have their names that are so similar, they get mixed up, and Jessica begins basically living Elijah's life. She's got a driver, she's got this beautiful penthouse suite, she's got everything she could want, a fresh wardrobe, everything very far away from the company, with 10 other interns. And so he loves it because he's never been treated just like a regular person. He's always been treated like the CEO's son. And she loves it because she's able to sort of share her ideas and get noticed. And so it was a really cute book. I think I gave it a 4, more like a 3.75, but I love to promote authors of color, and so I gave it a 4 on Goodreads. It was really cute, kind of predictable, but it's only 287 pages or something. 299 pages, and so it's definitely doable. I definitely recommend. And then I read Things We Left Behind. I picked this up last week. I shared about this. I shared about this in the vlog clips last week that I didn't share, but I picked this up because I've read the other 2 Knock 'Em Out series books, and I had a birthday coupon as well as a $5 reward from Barnes, and so I ended up getting this for $2. It has the little exclusive signature in there from Lucy Score. And I finished this up. It's on Kindle Unlimited as well, so I read it on my Kindle. And honestly, I was very, very, very disappointed in this book. I ended up giving it 2 stars. Again, I take into consideration where I am in my own process, but I just did not love this book. I really thought I was going to like the Lucian and Sloane connection, but I didn't at all. They weren't it wasn't really exciting for me. I didn't like the sort of, there's always like a crime they're trying to figure out in the middle. I didn't like that. It was so unnecessary. It's like somebody from 20 years ago or somebody from a while ago being given 20 years for a crime that they shouldn't have. It was just like, why are we inserting ourselves in this? Lucian's whole like bad boy, I don't care about anything shtick was annoying. So I finished it, but I did not love it. And so I have heard this one's not as good as the other ones before I bought it, but I would agree it's not that great. So then I felt kind of dejected because I was really excited about that book. So I was trying to figure out what I want to read. Now, I talked several times last week about reading Babysitter's Club Super Special number 1 because that's where I am in my order and I can't find my book anywhere. So I don't know where I put it. I can't blame anybody but myself, but I'm like, where did I put that book? I have no idea. I would like to read that, but I can't find it, obviously. So what I am going to read this week and what I started yesterday was The Long Game by Elena Armas. She has written The American Roommate Experiment and she also wrote The Spanish Love Deception. I didn't really like either of those. Spanish Love Deception, I barely got through like the first 5 pages. I've tried to do it and read it twice now with no luck. And then The American Roommate Experiment, I think I gave like 2 or 3 stars. But this, I don't know what this has in it, but it is so good. It kind of reminds me of Lucy Score's Rock Bottom Girl. Basically, we are following Adeline, who is sort of like the media person for her father's soccer team, very professional team, and she has an incident that her father thinks is bad business for them, and he sends her to a rural town to handle a different project. And the project is a girls' U10 soccer team that they are using as like sort of publicity for showing like how good of people they are. And so she's doing that charity work reluctantly, and she meets Cameron, who is a ex-professional soccer player who lives in a small town, but he doesn't want anybody to know he's there. Nobody really knows him because they don't really like soccer there. So he's just kind of living his secretive life, and they work together to coach this team. And so I'm on chapter 15, about halfway through. I'm going to finish this today. It's so good. I love the way it's written. I love this, like, I guess when I was reading it, I was thinking about, like, what kind of tropes do I like? And I really like in the romance novel where it's, like, the girl is going back to her hometown and she's having to, like, piece things back together. And there's a guy there that either she went to school with or she knows, she meets, whatever. I love those. That's kind of what this is. Really, really good. So excited that I'm liking one of Elena Armas's books because I haven't liked any of them in the past. So this is my main focus this week. Like I said, I'll probably finish this today, at the very latest tomorrow. But I am excited about this. It's giving 5 stars. So for the rest of the week, I'm trying to see, okay, well, I definitely want to find my Babysitter's Club book because I want to read book 3, or the Super Special number 1. But it is MIA, so I have to find it because I don't want to pay for it again. It's on Kindle, but it's like $5.99. Oh my gosh. I just read my original copy. Hold on. That literally made no sense to freak out. So my Super Special number 1 that I recently picked up with the new covers is missing, but I have it right here. Duh. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. Then I'm gonna sort of palette cleanse with this. And then I have 2 books that I would like to read this week. So the first priority is You Again. This is by Kate Goldbeck. I got this from Books a Month Club for this month, and it just looked cute and sounded cute. But I've been hearing other people talk about this book, and apparently it's like a book version of When Harry Met Sally. And When Harry Met Sally is one of my favorite books. Like, I love my favorite movies. I love that movie so much. It just screams fall. And so I cannot wait to get into this. So really excited to do that. And then I also have Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther that I'd like to get into. I have the physical book of this and the Kindle, which is my favorite setup so that I can read it at night and during the day without having to lose pacing or track. So This will probably be towards the end of the week as I go into the weekend, or even next week, depending on how long it takes me to get through this. And so I'm excited to have a plan for the week. Last week too, I went to the library several times, so I want to show you what I picked up. So I did pick up Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book just popped up on my radar because after reading Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon, I really liked her writing style, so I wanted to see what else she had. There's another book that I'm reading on Kindle, I think it's called We Have to Stop Meeting Like This or something like that. It's written by her as well, but I'm not loving it. So I have this here. I haven't touched it yet. And then I have this for my witchy romance for next month. I think I talked about this, or maybe it was in last week's, but I plan to read witchy romances. That was always my plan. But I also saw that Bookish Knitter Sarah posted that that'd probably be a reading challenge for October that she's hosting. So excited to do that, as well as Storm Reed's sort of Halloween. And so middle grade and witchy romance is my jam for October. So I picked up What You Gonna Do. I picked it up early so it was available, but my library is pretty great about renewing if nobody wants it, but I'm gonna read that. And then I also picked up Belladonna for no reason. I don't know much about this either, but I've been hearing about it. I picked up this book, The Body Keeps the Score. I've heard about this book, so some of my work is about some trauma practices and just thinking about how your body's impacted by trauma, and so I wanted to read that. And I think that's all I picked up at the library last week, so that is my plan. Anyway, my dog is crying because my door is closed, so I'm going to go love on him and continue working, eat some lunch, and then yeah, I will come back. I think it's sprints tonight. I have a meeting late tonight, so I will try to get on sprints for a little bit, but that's that. Okay, bye guys. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It is way later in the day, but I wanted to hop on and update you guys on what my reading was yesterday, which was hardly anything. It was trash. So I was busy yesterday. It's actually been a very busy week and it's only Tuesday. So like I mentioned, I had a work meeting outside of my work hours. So I was doing that and then ran down, made dinner. And then, you know, we're in the school group. So it's like, I still do all of my nightly chores around the house, along with the help of my husband, and then getting the girls prepped. There's tests and quizzes and outfits to be picked out and all the things. So I was just busy yesterday. I didn't really talk about it here because I just did it. But as I had said, maybe a few months ago, we had picked up a cockapoo. Unfortunately, we had to rehome the cockapoo because he was, I'm assuming he had been mistreated prior to him coming to us, and he'd gotten slightly aggressive with Reagan and just wasn't a good fit. Everybody was really heartbroken because Reagan especially has wanted a dog for years. And so we still wanted a dog. We still pursued a dog, and we got a dog on Thursday. Here he is. He's biting my iPad case. He's a baby. He is 3 months old. This is Mocha. And Mocha is a Chihuahua mix. He's Chihuahua Beagle Pug. And so we got him from an amazing rescue locally. And the rescue was so helpful in finding him, but also like giving us tips on how to be puppy parents. We've never been puppy parents. And so it's been a really good experience. So like I said, we have him since Thursday. It's Tuesday. He's starting to come into his personality a little more. He loves to nibble on everything. He's a great pottier. And so we are progressing. So anyway, that's taken some time during the evening just to make sure that he feels loved and safe. And he came from, he was with his foster mom from like 8 weeks old or something like that. So he was loved all the way up. But you can tell the difference between a dog that has been loved and hasn't. So the last incident with the dog, like I said, was very heartbreaking for us and for Reagan especially because we had waited so long for him. We had bought every single toy, food, snack, anything that we thought he would need. And he just unfortunately had been raised in a not great way. So leaving that there. So moving on. So yesterday, the point of that whole story is that I haven't been reading as much as I want to because I've been busy trying to be a mom to now 3 kids. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I did get about, I think my calculations were definitely off yesterday because I was at like a page 130 some, and I had said I needed about 180 pages left, and that was not right. Now I'm at 220, and there's 169, there's 369 pages left, so like 149 pages left of this book. I honestly could have finished this book last night. I was very, very tired, and I could have pushed myself just to like breeze through the end, but it is so good that I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what was happening, so I didn't. But I am going to finish this today, hopefully this afternoon. Reagan has trumpet practice and read with the dog, so I get to read. And then I'm going to start this. I'm going to keep this in the background though. Like, I'm not going to only read this. I'm going to read this in the background while I move on to You Again, because I'm really excited about reading this. And I just feel like I need to step up my reading game. I've read 10 books this month, and I usually am around 13 to 15. Again, it doesn't have to be that many, but I would like to. I am about 154 pages, or 154 books for the year. And my original goal was 70, and now I'm like, well, now I did 150, maybe I'll try for 200. So if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Anyway, that's my plan for today. I also have quite a few books on hold. Like, I held a lot of books. This is my favorite time of year of fall books, and a lot of fall books. People have been doing videos about like fall books coming out, and so I have put a few on hold, and I think I have, and then a couple came in, like The Naturals came in that was on hold like weeks ago. Obviously I already read that book, but a lot of books are coming in, and so I will show those to you as well. All right, so that is it for Tuesday, but I'll probably check in later or tomorrow with the books that I got from the library. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I am in my office, my new office, as we are getting our little pup Mocha adjusted. So you get some Mocha content right now. Just updating you on what I read yesterday. I also went to the library, as I said yesterday. I had quite a few books on hold, 5 actually. And so I picked those up. So let's just start. So yesterday I finished The Long Game. I ended up giving this 3.5, 4 stars on Goodreads, but it's 3.5 for me. I really thought this is the best book that I've read from Elena Armas. The plotline was really good. It reminded me a lot of, and I said this before, but Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score, where she goes back to her hometown after kind of hitting rock bottom and helps out with the soccer team. And so it's very similar. And it was good. The reason why it's not a 5-star for me is that this is a romance, and it literally didn't pick up to romance until about 70% in. And when the romance started, it went from like 0 to 100, which is just not believable for me. So the book started with Adeline and Cameron being at odds. Adeline has just lost her job with her dad's soccer team. She's on a break. She's like Bravo style on a break, right? So she's not fired, but she's on a break. And so she goes to this rural area to help coach another team. She thinks, there you go. She thinks that she's helping another big team, but it's actually a kids team. And so Cameron's already been helping. He is an ex-retired soccer player from London, and he doesn't want anybody to know he's there. Nobody in the town really cares about soccer, so they don't know who he is yet, but obviously she knows. So they really dislike each other for a good chunk of the book, and then all of a sudden she sprains her ankle and they're a couple. That didn't seem believable to me. I don't understand how you go from hating somebody. They've never been on a date. They never really talked outside of soccer. They didn't have any common interests. She sprained her ankle, and next thing you know, he's like, I'm the guy for you. That just didn't seem realistic to me. And then so from there, it just like kept going. And next thing you know, they're like basically living together. They're just the most in love they've ever been. The third act breakup isn't that big because they're just so in love. It was just, so 3.5. I would read it. I would suggest that you read it. And just know the romance is late in the game. Okay, so then yesterday, after I finished that, I started Babysitters on Board. Again, I wanted to read this as like my in-between, but it's also my background book as I start You Again. And this book is already starting off really well. I'm about 50 pages in, 49 pages. And there's 224 pages. And so this book follows the babysitters. They are on this mega trip, which is so crazy to me. So it sounds like Mallory's family won, the Pikes, they won a cruise or Disney World trip. Not won it, but the dad's job is sending them. And so they need help again like they did in Seaside. And so they've asked Marianne and Stacy to again help because they did such a good job before. Then Christy gets wind of it and Watson gets wind of it. And Watson's like, nobody's going to outdo me. I'm sending you, Christy. You're going to go. Let's bring the family. So he brings the family. And then Watson's like, you know what? There's no vacation unless all the babysitters come. So Claudia and Dawn get sponsored by Watson to come on this trip. So they're all going on a cruise for 7 days. And their destination is Disney World. That whole concept to me just seems wild and so not realistic, but it's the Babysitters Club. I don't remember this book at all. I will say that now I'm excited to start getting to books that I don't remember as much, because I would say up until about around the 20s, I probably don't remember that chunk. So from here until about the 20s, I won't remember a lot, which is exciting. So then I can just read the books as they are. But I remember specifically as a kid going to specific super special books because they would come out. It was like this big thing. I didn't read all the super specials as a kid. And so excited to be doing that. And I remember thinking this was all about just like a ship, not necessarily the Disney World part. So yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, I'm on chapter 6. I'm on a Claudia chapter, so it's a good place to stop. I still haven't found my copy, my newest copy, which is bananas to me, but I'm just working with this copy. And it's fine. It's super nostalgic. It's all crunchy and crusty from being in somebody's attic or basement for so many years. I got this on eBay a few years ago. It's well loved, but I'm glad to have it. Then I stopped reading that and I picked up You Again, because again, I'm keeping that in the background, but this is like, I'm so excited about this book. But I wanted to read the first few pages of it because it's already hyped up everywhere. I've hyped it up in my mind. And if this book doesn't hit for me, I'm going to be so disappointed. So I wanted to read the first pages to see, like, was it a good book? How do I like the writing style? And so far, so good. I'm on 12 pages in, just in the middle of chapter 1. I wasn't really trying to go deep in this book today. I just wanted to make sure I was going to like it. And then I found... well, I've been getting lots of questions about my Scribe lately, so if you haven't checked out that video, check that out. Yes, I still love the Scribe. I use all of my Kindles, as I was telling you guys. Well, I didn't tell you guys last week because I didn't post a video. So what I've decided to do basically is have each Kindle as like its own book. And so whatever cover is on that book will be what I'm reading. Okay, so on the Kindle Oasis, I'm reading Divine Rivals. The Kindle Paperwhite is the one that I'm bringing with me everywhere. And then this, well, I just downloaded a book. So last night I downloaded the book Bad Summer People. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I saw somebody buy it. I've been really into this booktuber, Alexandra Roslin. She's major. I never heard of her, but I even joined her Patreon because she just seemed like definitely my style. But she was looking at this book in the summer and it happens to be on Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded that. But really, I'm using this book for Meant to Be when I get to it, which is what I want to do, hopefully by in this month. And I'm okay if I don't, because it kind of gives fall vibes too. But yeah, just to peek at the Scribe, I still love it. I still recommend this as the best device because it is the fastest. And the screen reality is unmatched. The only problem I have is you can't take it many places. And I haven't yet found a case for it, a sleeve for it. I don't want to put a plastic case on it. I don't want to do stickers on this one, but I do need a sleeve. I finally found somebody that sells the sleeves, but I just haven't bought it yet. And so when I get a sleeve, I can be more portable with it. And I definitely have to carry a bigger bag with it, which is okay because I'm mom, so mom carries all things in bags. But yeah, so that's my Tuesday update. So I plan to really focus on You Again today, and then before bed I'll read some more chapters of this book. And then Divine Rivals, I mean, I'm reading it, but it's written really weirdly. I think I said this yesterday. It's just got a weird rhythm to the writing, and so I'm trying to get into that. But once I turn off the lights, that's what I'm kind of reading. So kind of 3 books right now. And yeah, that's the plan. I have library today, so I'll have time to read. I also have to edit a video and film today. I'm filming the video that will come out tomorrow, Thursday, which you'll already have seen. But I'm filming my fall recommendation video, and I had to gather like a lot. I guess I have a lot of fall videos or books that I would recommend. So I'm going to, do that as well. Anyway, that's it for Wednesday. If I have more, I'll check back in. Oh, I didn't show you guys the library books. How could I have forgotten? Okay, so I picked up my library books yesterday. Some of these are for a while. So the first one is The Naturals. Now, I've already read The Naturals, and I'm going to return this today. But they hold this for about a week. And so it's better to check it out and turn it back in so somebody else can have it than just to hold on to it for a week. So I will return this today. But I had this on hold, and obviously I read that already. And then I picked up A Finely Knit Murder. Alexandra Roslin talked about this. Is it Roslin or Rosalind? She talked about this on her sort of October reads, and it just sounded cute. It sounds nice and cozy. So this is going to be an October read. And then I had heard about this book, A Disaster in 3 Acts. This is a YA book, little romance situation. I heard it on someone else's channel, so I'm going to check that out. And then I'm really excited about this one. This is Circling Back to You. And it is a really cute book that I heard about. And I saw it on Kindle, but it's just not available at a price that I want to pay, but it looks good. And it's all about 2 coworkers that are trying to move up the corporate ladder, and they're trying to do a fake relationship dating. And then the last book I picked up, I have no idea how to say it, so I'll show it to you. It's like the International House of Dereliction. And I also saw this on Alexandra Roslin's. It says 10-year-old Alice is a whiz at fixing things, particularly old houses. She should be. She's helped her parents fix up 10 houses they lived in since Alice was born. Now, when her family is forced to move for the 11th time, Alice's eyes wander to the house next door. A once grand mansion, abandoned and condemned, it's the perfect repair job. As Alice begins to restore the house to its former splendor, she senses a strange presence. Does the house have a heartbeat? Is there something moving inside the walls? So you get it, kind of a spooky house thing. So this is also going to be for Halloween. Okay, so that is what I have. Now for real, I'm signing off for for Wednesday. And I will check back later. Bye, guys. Hey guys, happy Thursday, and what a Thursday it has been. It is way later in the day. It's about 5:13. I'm just opening up my book. Quite a hectic day. I was walking the dog this morning and kind of twisted my ankle or sprained it in like a ditch that was in the grass. It was fine until it wasn't. Headed over to urgent care. It's a really bad sprain. I got a brace. I got some crutches. Had to miss half a day of work. So yeah, very interesting. Was not expecting that today. I have sprained my ankle in the past, probably quite often, but this one's it just hurts. And so I am now braced up and relaxing and icing and elevating. But I wanted to share with you. So I am still reading You Again. As I said, this is my main priority. I am currently on page 102. I got about 100 pages read yesterday. It is good. It's a longer book. But I didn't start reading until later last night. And so far we're following Ari and what is his name? I can't remember names for anything. And Josh. And they have run into each other over the course of years. Are now in year 8 of them running into each other. It started off as like he was the boyfriend of Ari's roommate, who she was also sort of dating. And as they've gotten to know each other and reconnect, it's evolved. They're sharing stories of heartache, who they've been with, and they're just starting to like sort of understand each other and meet each other. And so it's pretty interesting. There's so much left of the book. It's like a 400-page book. So there's so much left, so I don't have that much more to add. But I did want to share that yesterday at the library, I wasn't planning to get any books. But when I picked up, I was looking down the aisles, and one book jumped out at me. And it's this one, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, which has been on my shop list. I was going to buy it, and now I don't have to. And it looks pretty new, too. Like, hasn't been checked out much. So this will be added to my October reads. So that's it for now. Kind of just chilling. Kind of still in disbelief of what happened today. I'm going to read the rest of the night and elevate a nice. So, yes, that has been Thursday. I will check in later. Hey guys, happy Friday. Popping on today to let you know kind of what I've done. Like I said, yesterday was a weird day. Spent most of the day with an injury and then to urgent care, and they were actually pretty fast. I didn't get as much reading done. I brought you again with me to see if I can get some reading done, and didn't really because I got back there. I got x-rays and the whole thing. Long story short, I think I said it in yesterday's clip, but sprained ankle, crutches, the whole bit. So just trying to take it slow, which I'm finding out is very, 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 very hard for me. But this weekend, I want to tell you what I'm jumping into reading. And this might be the last day of the vlog. I don't know yet. And so I was reading You Again last night. I'm about 150 pages in, and right now it's giving 3-star. It is cute and it is good. It does feel like When Harry Met Sally, except it's getting like When Harry Met Sally, but Groundhog Day. And so Ari and Josh originally met when Josh was dating Ari's roommate, and Ari was also hooking up with her. And so they met, they disliked each other, and they've been meeting since. It's about 8 years between the time they've met. They come across each other every couple of years in some unique way. Most recently they came together and have been hanging out and starting to explore more of a friendship, platonic, all platonic at this point. But I'm wondering, how do we have 350 pages more worth of content? Because I'm already on 150, or I guess 250 pages. Like, what else is there to talk about? Like, either they're gonna date or they're not gonna date. And so that's getting a little bit like, let's move it along here. So I'm gonna be reading this. And then last night I started Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. This is the same author who wrote Summer Broken Rules, and What Happens at Night, I think it was. Her books are always just okay for me, but it's a quick YA read. So far, I'm only on page 15. I know the main characters are in high school, they're seniors, and they are at some type of boarding school, sort of like Gossip Girl situation. And then I'm also planning to finish this weekend Babysitter's on Board. And then I feel like I have enough books for my liking, again, my personal preference. Almost dropped that. Enough books for the month, because that'll be 11, 12, 13, 14 books for this month, and I'm good with that. So that will be my main goal this weekend. And then next week, who knows, I might pick up a Babysitter's Club book or another middle grade, really light. But really, I'm gonna be focusing on my October Halloween and witchy romance collection. So I'm really excited to get started on that. So that's what's happening for Friday. And yeah, I will be back to either close this out or tomorrow. Okay, bye. Hey guys, happy Saturday. Welcome to the last day of my vlog. It's about 8:45, and I'm just getting ready to edit this and get it up for Sunday. And I realized I didn't come back yesterday. I didn't come on at all yesterday, so I wanted to wrap up the vlog for you guys. We actually just got back from watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. It is still in theaters. It's also on Paramount Plus, but we wanted to have the theater experience because Kennedy's at homecoming tonight, and so we want to do something fun with Reagan. Anyway, pretty good. Give it a 7.5. As an OG Ninja Turtle watcher, it was just okay storyline wise. But what was interesting to me and my husband is that it's PG, and the language for PG is just insanity. And you know, it's interesting watching kids grow up nowadays. There's different parenting styles and different allowances, and we just are very old school. We don't allow foul language. And it's just a lot of foul language in our opinion. Too much for a PG movie. But so let's get to the reading, which is why we're here. So yesterday I hopped on a sprint with Alexandra Roslin. I told you I had just started watching her channel more, joined her Patreon, and she was doing like a 24-hour readathon. That's not my thing because I value sleep. I have kids that talk to me all day long. We have a dog now, so like I can't do 24 hours straight. But I popped on for her reading sprint. I got on about 9, and they were going from 6, well, her time, 6 to 10. So that would have been like 5 to 9 my time. And I got on just for 2 sprints, and it was so great. Great space of people, and just the book community in general has always been so nice on YouTube and other spaces, Discord, TikTok. So I really love that. Anyway, I finished up the book You Again. I ended up giving this 3.5 stars, but I marked it 4 stars on Goodreads. This book again follows Ari and Josh. Ari and Josh meet when Josh is dating Ari's roommate, and Ari's also having a physical relationship with that roommate, and they kind of loathe each other. As time goes on, they keep running into each other in different awkward situations, and finally, about 8 years after their initial meeting, they decide to become friends in a way, and they kind of guide each other through their relationships, the ups and downs. And eventually they start falling for each other and decide to take their friendship to the next level. That's like the premise of the book. And then it kind of follows the general romantic trope. What drew me to this book originally was that everybody said it was very much like When Harry Met Sally. And I love that movie. And When Harry Met Sally, they also meet when Sally's roommate is dating Harry. And Harry gives Sally a ride back to the city from college. And it just kind of kicks off from there. They keep running into each other. But unlike When Harry Met Sally, this book kind of took a lull for me, which is why I gave it 3.5 in my actual write-up. Because about 150 pages in, I was wondering, like, where could this go? Because we were already 8 years after their first meeting. And there'd already been really significant things that already happened. And so I wasn't really seeing a vision of where it went. It did eventually go places, but it was just a lot of repeats. So it ended up being more like a Groundhog Day, to be honest. And I don't always love Groundhog Days. This started to drag a little bit for me, but I think it's still worth the read. It doesn't necessarily give autumn vibes. Besides the cover, they meet... I don't even know how much the seasons are a part of their discussion. It's mostly winter because we have a big conversation about the jacket that she wears. But really cute book. I do recommend it if you want something that is a romance. I can't say it's a cute romance. It's just a regular ups and downs romance. And I can't say it's quick because it's 400 pages. So there is You Again. So finish that. And then today I finished up Babysitters Club Super Special #1. This is Babysitters on Board. And I gave this just a solid 3. Here is the thing. So in this book, all of the babysitters are somehow on this maiden voyage to Disney World. It's not a maiden voyage, but they're on this cruise to Disney World. And I found it unrealistic from the very jump, as I mentioned earlier in the week, because everybody's on the trip. Like, Watson's just paying big bucks for Claudia and Dawn. Like, it just... They're on a boat for a week without their parents. It just, to me, it just seemed odd. And then, like, at some of the ports, they would stop and they'd just be like, okay, you guys go explore. Meet us back at 5. It's like, they're 13. No, they would never. And then it didn't, so that was unrealistic to me. So from the jump, I was kind of like, oh, okay, here we go. The storylines, in my opinion, were a little weak and a little predictable. It's like Claudia and Stacy were Claudia and Dawn were liking a boy. Stacy was with somebody who had a medical condition. We have Marianne and Stacy also dealing with the Pike kid. So it just was very cookie cutter of their tropes, their character tropes. And I wonder too, and this might be a spoiler for people, but Anna Martin did not write all of her books. She often had many of her books ghostwritten. So, for instance, a lot of the Dawn books are ghostwritten. And so the Claudia books are as well. I have to remember which ones are actually like the ones. Marianne's are always Anna Martin's voice. So I wonder if this one was ghostwritten. And you can tell because in the dedication, it'll say... Okay, this book is for Kate and Peter, very special friends. So they could have been ghostwritten because Peter Larangis was a ghostwriter for many of the books for Babysitters Club. But it was just very safe in the roles that the girls were. Nobody was deviating. So just a basic 3. Also, this book has perspectives from Karen and David Michael and Byron Pike. I don't need it. I never need to know what Byron thinks about anything in any. I never need that. And then the little sister books were never my thing. Reagan loves them a lot, and she reads them as they come out in their new graphic novels, and I read them with her. But I also don't need her perspective. Like, just give me the juice. So a basic 3. First attempt at a super special. I see them trying to like merge it together, but it just wasn't it for me. Now I'm off to book 13, which is Goodbye Stacy Goodbye, which is going to be sad because I love Stacy as a character. And so I don't know what I'm going to do with some books without her. And then Mallory's going to be introduced in book 14. And it's like, do we need okay, it's a whole thing. So anyway, after I finished that, I continued Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. This again I'm trying to really zone in because the other 2 books of hers that I read, the problem I had is like the way she writes and the way the story kind of jumps around. It's always kind of had me reading over the words. Like I'm reading it, but I'm not there. And so I'm really trying to just like lock in, focus on what's happening. And we're basically following Sage and Charlie right now. They're at like a boarding school. They're both seniors. Charlie has a twin brother, Nick, that Sage likes, and she just kissed him playing Spin the Bottle, and now they like automatically want to be a couple. And then Charlie's like this big playboy, and everybody's trying to date him, and he's kind of like a troublemaker. Like he can't go to common rooms of dorms because of all the trouble he's gotten into in the past. And so that's kind of where I am. I know there's another new guy, Luke, who's coming in the picture, and I know that eventually Luke and Charlie will have a crush on each other. So we shall see. And then I decided for this last week, because I was saying, I don't really need to read any more books this month. I'm good, but that's never going to work. So I will go to The Toll. How Did It Bend? Oh my gosh, that drives me bananas. I'm going to read The Toll. This is book 3 in the Scythe series. I don't know if there's a book 4. Does it say it on here? I don't know if there's a book 4. I will look it up, but if you know, comment down below. This is 625 pages, but this book is written so well. My hope is to not slump and get this done. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Monday night sprints. We have sprints tomorrow, so I should be able to get some of this done. Yeah, that's my goal. So that is the end of this week's vlog. Thanks again for joining me. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're unsure about subscribing, check out my other content. I do bookish videos on Thursday. It could be something about my Kindle. It could be my TBR. It can be anticipated reads, things like that. And then Sundays is usually my weekly reading vlog. I enjoy doing these. And so it keeps me accountable with my reading. It keeps me on track. So if you like any of that, be sure to subscribe. I'm almost to 500 subscribers. That's my goal. So if you know somebody else who would like this channel, be sure to share this channel as well. Anyway, we will see you in the next video, which will be on Thursday. Until next time, bye guys.